Today in court on Swift Justice with Nancy Grace. While he was fighting overseas,
I showed interest in buying a pickup truck from him, and I started wiring him the money.
he became a soldier of misfortune.
Turns out he sold the car to somebody else.
Today on Swift Justice with Nancy Grace. For 10 years, she was America's toughest and most successful prosecutor. Now, she has her own court, and she's the judge. The cases are real. The decisions are binding. And justice will be swift.
Sir, I don't care who says what. I'm going to find the truth.
Court starts now on Swift Justice with Nancy Grace.
24-year-old Kyle Holland says he paid his 30-year-old brother-in-law, Christopher Jacobs, $6,200 for his '98 Dodge Dakota, even wiring him the money faithfully after Kyle was deployed to the Philippines. When he got home on leave, he tried to transfer the title, but Jacobs ignored his calls. Turns out he sold the car to somebody else. Jacobs claims he stored the truck for 2 years, which to him was a big burden, and then he finally sold it. Do you agree to be bound by my ruling, sir?
I do.
Sir?
I do.
Let me hear your side, Kyle.
Yes, ma'am. I was deployed in the Philippines 2007,
What branch?
United States Marine Corps. And while I was there, I contacted Mr. Jacobs and showed interest in buying a pickup truck from him. We agreed on the amount.
Is he still your brother-in-law?
No, ma'am.
I was wondering where your sister stood in all this. Did they get divorced before or after this?
This was just before.
Okay, go ahead.
While I was deployed, contacted Mr. Jacobs in interest of buying a pickup truck, and we agreed on the amount. It was $6,200, and I started wiring him the money from April of '07 and finished paying for it in July of '07. I found out shortly after paying for the vehicle when I was going to be home.
You paid $6,200 for a Dodge
Dakota, ma'am.
Dakota. Were you two friends?
We were very close, actually, up until this point.
Okay, go ahead.
So after wiring him the money, I found out when I was going to be home from deployment. And then as soon as I came in the country, started leaving text messages and voicemails, just a reminder letting you know I'm going to be home this time so I can transfer the title. He would start avoiding my calls. When he did answer or reply to text, he was busy working. He was unavailable.
Working as a...
At the time, he said he was a painter. He was painting houses.
He said he was a painter.
Yes, ma'am.
What was he really?
That's wrong.
You'll have your turn, sir.
So while this is going on,
What was he really?
I'm not sure, ma'am. He's been through
Well,
so
he
many
was
jobs.
married through your sister. Did he have a job?
He's been through at least 40 jobs since I've known him.
40? Did you say 40?
That's way off.
I'm sorry, ma'am?
Did you say 40? 40?
At least 40.
Okay, so you came home, he dodged your calls and texts, then what happened?
The few times he did answer, he said he was busy working. I said, let me know when you're able to get away for a few minutes, pick up the truck. I made myself available 24 hours a day for the entire time I was home. Told him no matter what I'm doing, I'll drop it. And he was always busy and just avoided my calls. And then as soon as I went back to Hawaii, which was my duty station at the time, which was August 16th, he calls me about a week later and says I abandoned the truck and I gotta find a way to take care of it right now.
Do you have reason to believe he's purchased a Lexus?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Why?
I was informed by my sister that he had bought an Lexus somewhere around that time period and hearsay of a motorcycle as well.
Mr. Jacobs?
Yeah. Well, as far as the jobs go, I was with Safety Signs. I worked road construction. I was on the job, on the road, away from town. I was with that company for 5 years. You did call me and tell me you were going to be in town. Or, sorry, he called me and told me that he was going to be in town and wanted to take care of the truck. I took the weekend off and was at home and was made available. And when I tried to call him on the day that we had agreed upon to get this done, he was golfing instead of taking care of this. So I sat at home. And
What about that?
Didn't hear
Did
from
you go
him the rest of the
golfing?
day.
Yes, ma'am, I did. I went golfing on that Sunday. It'd be August 5th. From about noon till 3 p.m., played 9 holes with my brother. I called him, a phone record show. I contacted him 8 times during that day, let him know. He told me he was working that day. And I let him know, I'm going golfing with my brother. If something comes up, you can get away, let me know. I'll drive away from the golf course. I was only 20 minutes away from where he was living at the time. I had no problem going away and picking up the pickup truck right then.
Go ahead, sir, Mr. Jacobs.
Okay, so that day I had tried to contact him to get this done, and I didn't get any calls back. I did wait until about dinner time.
Please look at me.
I'm sorry. I did wait until about dinner time, and then I had other things that I had to get done too, because I've got a family and I've got other things going on.
Dinner time on Sunday night, what did you have to do?
I was out with my girlfriend at the time.
You just blamed it on your family. Now it's your girlfriend.
She was living with me, so I called her family. Yeah. She was. I believe that weekend that I had my children that weekend too. So, but
on Sunday
I
night,
went
don't
out.
they have to go back?
I don't have a set schedule that I have them, because it's difficult when I was working on the road to have a set schedule as to when I was going to be in town.
Now, first you told me you were sitting at home.
I was.
Now you're telling me you had your children with you.
I was at the house. You're right. If I have my children, I'm at the house. I can have them there.
You seem defensive.
I'm frustrated because
Where's the car? Where is the Dodge Dakota?
I traded it off. I got $1,000, $1,500 for that truck. Off of
You sold
this
it to
car.
somebody
Yes,
else?
because I had it.
Okay.
Been transferred
How much money did he give you for the Dodge Dakota?
He didn't give me any money. He gave me a car. I traded a motorcycle that I had purchased previous to this and the truck for a car.
Coming up.
Very relevant questions here. Do you feel you owe Kyle any money? Did you accept money from Kyle after you sold that vehicle? And last but not least, did you lie when you said you tried to return that truck to Kyle?
Closed captioning provided by Nancy's ruling is real. It's binding, and it's next. Holland versus Jacobs. A soldier returning from deployment finds out his brother-in-law sold his truck from under him, and he's suing for $5,000.
What about the wire transfer, sir?
I sent him $6,200 from April until July. Now, he told me when we first started doing this that he didn't have a bank account at the time because he'd recently got divorced, which is accurate. He asked if I could send it to his dad, so I wired most of it to his dad. At one point in the middle there, he had gotten in a fight with his dad.
And do you have evidence of your wire transfers?
Yes, ma'am, they're all in the bank statements there. At that point, he said he got in an argument with his father, which is not uncommon at all. So he didn't want me to send money to him. So he had me send $2,000 of it to a friend, since he was also buying a motorcycle from that friend.
Let's see the exhibits, please. Let's start with the phone call.
Hi, is this Chris Jackals? Yeah. Hi, Chris. My name is Brad Newbold. I'm the attorney representing Kyle Halland. He asked me to give you a call to discuss possible settlement of a matter.
I've been trying to get a hold of him and get this taken care of for like 3 years, so.
And was he, now I understand you were going to deliver the truck to him, or he was coming off duty or something and that was to happen, but it never did?
He was off duty and was at my place, or within 10 miles of the truck, and I called him and had a date set up, and he thought it was more important to go golfing than to take care of it, and then he left again, and I had to move the truck and move the truck and move the truck, and couldn't get a hold of him, and...
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like there's a misunderstanding there. He was saying that he has to have the truck delivered, but he just never got it. I guess at this point, the question is if the truck is still, if you still have the truck.
The truck has been sold because I told him that I wasn't going to hang on to it and keep moving it because I wasn't driving it.
When did you sell it?
About 6 months ago.
Okay. Do you have another vehicle that's worth the same amount of money or in good working condition?
I got one vehicle that I use that I need to get to and from work, and I'm not even going to consider that.
Okay, what are you willing to do?
Well, I told him that I was willing to give him the money back as long as he would take the payments.
Okay, what kind of payments are you able to make?
Yeah, I have no issue about that, but it'd be a monthly thing. It's not going to be all in full.
All right. Well, it's something at least I could talk with him about. And what I want you to do, I guess, is maybe to give me an idea, give me a call back or something. And otherwise, has everything you've said been true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yep.
You told the lawyer, I'll give the money back. You just told me he never gave you any money.
I never said that he didn't give me any money.
Yes, you did. You said he gave you a car.
The guy, I was talking about the money that Kyle gave me. I never, when I sold the truck, the truck, I never got money for the truck. I traded a car. The attorney asked me if I was going to pay Kyle back the money. To my understanding.
Woody Tripp, are you here?
I am, Nancy.
Did you perform a polygraph in connection with this case?
I did.
What did you learn, if anything?
Well, I learned that Chris actually has a conscience, and his conscience spoke volumes when it came to this test. And basically, Nancy, very, very relevant questions here. Do you feel you owe Kyle any money? Did you accept money from Kyle after you sold that vehicle? Did you use any of that money that was for repairs for something else? And last but not least, did you lie when you said you tried to return that truck to Kyle? And out of those questions, Nancy, the one that was the most significant, most telling was, do you owe money to Kyle? That was the conscience speaking for Kyle in that one, because that was the one that scored the highest as far as deception.
Thank you, Woody.
You're welcome.
Sir, is that your last deployment, or do you have to go back?
I had one more. All
Where are
of
you-
last year, ma'am.
You had one more, you've got one more.
Last year I did a full year deployment.
Where?
All over Asia and Okinawa.
Was that your last one?
Yes, ma'am, that was before I got out.
And now what do you do?
I'm a federal employee.
With the,
I work with communications for the government.
how many times have you been deployed?
I did one in 2007 and then 2 consecutive in 2009, back to back.
Miguel, can you play me the last 3 slides again? Slide 4, 5, and 6, please.
Okay. Do you have another vehicle that's worth the same amount of money or in good working
No, I
condition?
don't. I got one vehicle that I use that I need to get to and from work, and I'm not even going to consider that.
Okay, what are you willing to do?
Well, I told him that I was willing to give him the money back as long as he would take the payments.
Okay, what kind of payments are you able to make?
Yeah, I have no issue about that, but it'd be a monthly thing. It's not going to be all in full.
All right. Well, it's something at least I can talk with him about. And what I
Cut
want you
it.
to do, I guess, is maybe to...
It will be in full, and it will be today. Here's a man willing to go in, look at me, anywhere he's told to go to protect our country. And you're ripping him off, buying a Lexus and a motorcycle. And not only that, you come into this arena and you lie. You owe him the full $5,000 now. How dare you take advantage of a man in our armed forces? Shame. Case closed.